Hello everybody, Tyler here, all things archery and shooting. Got another vintage bow review for you. This one is on a Bear bow. Let's take a look at what we got. Okay. Ordered this bow from eBay. I got paid like $80 for it, I think it was. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. It's boxed up pretty well. Fiber and quartz paper they put on it, which is nice. So it is boxed up quite well. Almost boxed up too well. I made a pretty nice box for this thing. Oh, here we go. Very nicely made. Heavy duty box. Homemade, not too bad. Okay, that's it. Nothing left in there. Alright. Okay, like I said, what we got here is a Bear Archery Black Panther bow. Wow. Yep, Bear Archery Black Panther. Very nice. Talk about a pretty bow. Look at this. Okay. It's got a string on that's kind of beat up. Hasn't been waxed in a while. Okay. But other than that, it's a really pretty bow. Look at it. I mean, yeah, it's got a little bit of problem right there on the, I do got a little bit of a rust right here on the stabilizer part, which is right here. Other than that, I mean, the bow's in really good shape. Super clean. This bow is supposed to be 45 pounds at 28 inches. Let me get you a close-up look at it. Okay, here it is. One problem with this thing is right here. You see this? It's kind of rusted, so I'm going to have to do something about that. I'm not sure what yet, but I'm going to do something about it. It's kind of nasty. It's all coming apart completely. The bows doesn't have any problems with the laminates in it. It's a maple core bow, as you can see here. A nice curve on it. It's got a, let's get this off here. It's going to need a new string for sure, though. Okay. I do believe that's the original string that came with the bow. But it's got reinforced tips, so we can use a fast flight on it. Very clean. Look at that coming across. Beautiful handle. Look at that wood. A beautiful handle. Okay. Come across right here, more Black Panther. Looks like Black Panther. Alright, there's that. Another reinforced tip as well. So the only issue I see is right here, and that is it. I can't see anything else wrong with it, so I'm probably going to have to do something about that. Clean it up somehow or do something with it. That is the only issue I see with it, which I'm surprised that's all rusted like that. I wonder how that happened. I don't know. Sure is a mess. I got the bear emblem right there. Beautiful wood though, gorgeous looking wood. Alright. This bow is 52 inches AMO from limb tip to limb tip. This is the original Bear string that came with it. Probably still bow. The string looks pretty shady, good wax on. I think we'll string it up and see how it works. I'm going to order a new string for it though, of course. Alright. Alright, let's look up some information on this bow. Okay everybody, after doing some research on the web for a while, I found out that this bow is basically a Kodiak Magnum. It was made in 1974. It was made exclusively for Montgomery Ward. The KP, based on that is all bows made in Bear Archery made after 1970 of the K, and the P signifies is Panther, and then the serial number 273299. This is the 27,399 bow made. This is made for big box stores like Montgomery Ward and Kmart and Sears. Okay, it's basically a Kodiak Magnum. This has a few things missing from the Kodiak Magnum. It does not have the crown piece here, which it does, which the Kodiak Magnum has. And the Kodiak Magnum use brass inserts, and these are steel. As you can see, the steel rusted, so these are cheaply made. That's going to have to be sanded. It does have the aluminum, the inexpensive Bear raised medallion, which is nice. It's got great silk screening right there, Black Panther Hunter. All right. It does have reinforced tips, so we'll run a fast flight string. It's supposed to be, it says 40 to 45 pounds at 28 inches. Let's see what it actually is. Let's pop this old Bear Archery rest off and see what we have here. Okay, as you can see, this bow came off and it just crumbled. The pieces actually crumbled out of the bow. Look at that. Completely just crumbled. Just an old plastic Bear rest just came apart in little bitty pieces of my hand. But I got to what I wanted to see though. This bow is actually a 43-pound bow. I know it says 40 to 45 pounds, but it's 43 pounds at 20 inches. So at 29 and a half my draw, this bow should pull somewhere around 45 to 46 pounds. We'll check that in a minute. Let's get this cleaned up and get a Bear rest on and get it checked and clean everything up on it, okay? Let's do that right now. All right, after a little bit of scrubbing and working this bow over, I was able to get the glue residue off and the old plate residue off this thing. The way I did that was I went and used Goo Gone, let it soak there for about 10 minutes, and then I took a dishwashing sponge with a scrubbing pad on it, not a real rough one, but a smaller for like doing china with, and scrubbed it off with that. And then I took Dawn dishwashing soap, put it on the same sponge, and rubbed in there and cleaned all that off. Okay. Last thing I did was I used an old t-shirt like this, just to rub it across where the sticker residue was at. If there's any sticker residue left, that sure will stick to it. And then I completely washed the whole bow down with soap and water and dried it. And then I used denatured alcohol and wiped the whole bow down. So I got all the residue, all the goo and everything alcohol on it. Okay. So that's how I got that cleaned up. As you can see, this bow has a 43 right there, so it's 43 pounds. Bear always mark their actual weight behind the strike plate, which we're going to put on in a minute. It's a 52-inch bow. This bow basically is a Kodiak Magnum, designed for big box stores like Ward's, Montgomery Ward's and Kmart and Sears. They sold them by the thousands in those stores. It's almost identical to that bow except for a few things. This uses future wood instead of the custom woods and the exotic woods that the Kodiak Magnum use. This used Bear's future wood. It also had a steel insert for the stabilizer or the fishing reel instead of a brass or aluminum like the Bear bow. So you can see that caused that rusted really bad. So I'll be working it out. The way I'll get out of there is I'll tape it off here, and I'm gonna take a file and grind it all the way down. Okay. After everything's taped off, then I'm gonna fill that hole up with epoxy. Okay, so you won't even see it. I never use one of these, so that'll get rid of that. So that's how I'm gonna fix that. All right. The bow does use maple core limbs in it. All right. It is 2 cores of maple in there. The actual riser itself is made of future. It's made on the same machine and the same die as the Kodiak Magnum, identical to it. It does have the raised medallion. So this is made, which is a silver medallion, all right, which is a cheaper medallion on the cheaper bows. Not saying this is a bow that's a cheap bow, but more expensive bows that have the gold medallion on it. Okay, this is the silver. It is a raised medallion. So this bow again was made in 1974. It's a Black Panther Hunter, all right. It's 43 pounds at 28 inches, so my draw length of 29 and a half inches, bow's probably pulling about 45 or 46 pounds. We'll check that. It does have reinforced limb tips, which is nice, so this bow can handle a fast flight, and I'll go ahead and order a fast flight string with it. Okay. Another difference from the Kodiak Magnum, does not have the crown piece right here, what the Kodiak Magnum has, the white crown piece on it. And the Kodiak Magnum also, you can see here, that's your bare wood. It's actually filled in with fiberglass there. It still has the string groove, but that is bare wood, not filled in with fiberglass. Otherwise, the bow is identical. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put this rest on here, okay, which is a bare rest, okay. And then we're going to take it out to the range and put it through its paces, see how it shoots. I am going to order a fast flight for it, so I won't do any range testing if the string comes in, but I will go ahead and put this, this is the original Bear string, by the way, from 1974. All right, so, I mean, the string is old. It's Dacron. It's very heavy. It's a heavy string, okay? How many strands does it have? It has 18 strands of Dacron in it. So we'll string it up with this just to see if how it pulls and what the weight is, all right? But I'm not going to shoot it till we get a new string for it, a fast flight string, all right? Let's go and get this rest on there and the striker plate in there. We'll test the draw length on, the draw weight on, and then I've ordered a new string for it. When it comes in, we'll take it to the range. Let's see what we got draw weight wise. Okay, the brace height of this bow should be around 8 to 8.5 inches. And then I've got 8 3/4 of an inch, okay? So it's a little bit higher than it should be, but I think it'll be fine. Okay. Yeah, Bear recommends between 8 and 8.5. I'm at 8 3/4, maybe because it's an older string, I don't know. But it's quite a large brace. Look at that. Anyway, let's go ahead and check the draw weight on it. That's what I want to check right now. First, we're going to use the my handheld draw gauge, and I will obviously, after this, I will use my tiller machine. Well, I checked it on my handheld scales, coming right at 50 pounds. On my tillering machine at 28 inches, it's pulling 46 pounds. So that's pretty, I mean, it's nowhere near the 40, if it's not 43 like it says here. I don't understand, but anyway, so pulling 46 pounds on my tillering machine at 28 inches and pulling 50 pounds with my handheld scale. So not too bad. That'd be a good little hunting weight there. Let's go to get this on it now. Get this rest on there. Remember the rest. There's two. You got to put a rest on, but you got to go with the flow of the feather, flow of the fur, and you can run your finger across it like this. Which way the fur flows. On this one, the fur flows this way. So you want to be sure you run it this way. Okay. So it's got to go on like this. Okay. Set that right there. Take a pencil, mark it off. Okay, now you got a perfect template in the back. Just take your scissors, cut it out. Okay. Some people say you should put this on first, but I don't really see a difference, so I'll make a difference which way you put it on. Let's go ahead and add this to it now. Let's peel this off. Best way I found to peel these, just take your knife and get it to the corner of it like this, and you can get a good grip on the corner of it. The corner out with blade your knife, you can very easily peel it back now. Okay. Go ahead and set that on there. Okay, good. Now you can go ahead and put this on here now. Make sure you get all that paper off there. take that in there, set it right in there like that. Good. Okay. There we go. Now we got our rest of it, okay? Alright. This, by the way, is not. It used to use this to go up here between the limbs. That would keep your brush from getting tangled up in your limbs there. It's missing the one on the bottom. Okay. All right. So that is the Bear Black Panther Hunter, which is basically a Kodiak Magnum made for the big box stores like Kmart, Wards, things of that nature, Sears. This one's made in 1974. It's in really good shape for a bow that's, I mean, for a bow that's what, 74, 84, 94, 2004, 84, 94, 2004, 2014, almost 50 years old. It's in super clean shape. So, all right, stay tuned for part 2 of this video. I'm going to go ahead and in part 2 of this video, we'll go ahead and take this bow and shoot it. I'm getting a new string coming in first before I shoot this bow. I'm going to have a fast flight string brought in. All right. We'll see how fast it shoots and how it performs. The reason I'm going to use a fast fly string, I've done some research on the web. It does have reinforced tips, so it should handle a fast flight. So I'm not going to use a super fast fly. I'm going to use something like a D97 string. Okay, it's kind of a hybrid string. All right. So we're going to use that and set that up. Once that comes in, we'll do a range test on this, see how she shoots, how she performs. I'm curious if we get any finger pinch. As short the brace height this is, I'm not sure. I mean, when the bow's fully strung out, this thing is super short. It's only 46 inches from nock to nock, all right? 48 inches to limb tip when it's strung up. So it's a 52-inch bow. So, all righty. Again, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, be sure to look for part 2 of the range session of this video. We'll get in that range session. We'll test this on my range outside, see how it shoots, see how she does, and we'll go from there. We're going to check her accuracy, check her speed, check her performance, check how quiet she shoots, and everything else. All right, that'll be in part 2. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't already, please click that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you click that bell icon next to that subscription button, that way I can notify you of upcoming videos. Like I said, the next one, this will be part 1, it'll be part 2 of this video will be coming out shortly, as soon as I get a new string for it. So be sure to look for that. All right, this has been Todd with All Things Archery and Shooting. I want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, ciao.